The Way of Will John.
You had one on?
Well, so this was funny. This is a great story, actually. So I go to the sports psychologist, never met the dude, and it's about 30 minutes away from here, and it was noon or 1, and I was having that kind of mid-afternoon lull. So there's a quick trip half a block from this dude's place, and I get an 8-ounce Red Bull, and I just slam it going in, not knowing, and like just
What's
wanting to
going
be
on?
alert. And I don't condone Red Bull. I don't even drink them. But it was one of those deals where I was like, man, I need to be like attentive and present.
Yeah.
So let me make sure. So I go in, right?
Great.
And but yeah, like literally slam it in that half block. Walk in, and him and I chat for about 20 minutes. And he's like, yeah, come back here. Let me show you what the assessments look like. So he hooks me up to this thing that measures my heart rate.
You're all jacked
And I don't
up.
even know what I'm taking yet, right? Yeah, and I've just slammed this Red Bull. And he said, here's what you do. You stare at this candle, so it's on your monitor, and it's a candle. He's like,
On a computer screen? Or?
Yeah, on a computer screen.
Okay.
And then it's got a thing hooked up to your ear that measures heart rate. And he said, you stare at the candle until the candle goes out. And then once it goes out, your heart rate's at the optimal level. So again, that's like all he gives me. So he puts this thing on my ear, and I'm just staring at this candle, like electronic candle. And so what I start to do is I just start to meditate, right? So I'm doing like 2 to 3 second inhales, 2 to 3 second exhales, trying to keep my mind present, be still. So I do it, and I think it took me like 1 minute and 26 seconds for the candle to go out. So the candle goes out, and I turn back. He's behind me sitting on a couch in his office where they do these assessments. And I was like, all right, I think I'm done. And he's like, he looks over my shoulder, and he's like, oh, 1:26. He's like, that's good. I did it in 13. And I said, 13 seconds? And he goes, no, 13 minutes.
13 minutes?
And he said that I was the second fastest time he had ever even heard of. And he works with a ton of he works with a ton of pro athletes. He said that's the fastest time I've ever seen in person. That's the second fastest time I've ever heard of. The fastest time is by this incredibly high level PGA golfer that says is the most like in tune, in breath athlete he's ever done.
That is.
And I did that shotgunning a
Red Bull.
like,
Yeah.
20 minutes before I take this assessment.
You're a Zen master yourself. This is what's going on here.
It was funny though, because so then like a week later, I met with the rest of his people in his office, and he tells them that story. And he's like, yeah, he did it in 1:26. And they all just start busting up. They're like, oh my God, that's incredible. And again, I still, like, I mean, I heard what he'd said, but I was like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. But it was all just meditative breath.
It's unreal.
Well, dropping into that zone quickly.
That reminds me of the story that they told. There was this guy. You know what Sadhguru is?
I do not.
Don't know Sadhguru. Look at this. Yeah, learning all sorts of stuff.
I know.
So this guy's
all our meditative paths are crossed in other directions.
Yeah, he's a very famous guru in India right now.
Okay.
He's really charismatic. So people are drawn to him, and he's preaching.
Oh, wait.
There you go. That's his. That must be Jaggi Vasudev. That's crazy. But yeah, Sadhguru is how he's known. And he tells the story of when he had to go in for testing.
Oh, okay.
And so he went in the same thing that you did. They hooked him up to all sorts of things, and they told him, hey, we just go ahead and meditate, and we'll monitor you over here.
Right.
So he sits down, and he starts to do his form of meditation, and he's got his eyes closed, he said, and he was just doing his thing, exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. About 2 minutes or so into the thing, he starts to feel a knocking at his knee.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks, okay, maybe they're just doing like some testing.
Physical test.
Yeah. And so he keeps going. But then the knocks got harder and harder. And so he thought, oh, Jesus, all right, fine. I'll come out of my meditation, to do it. So he opens his eyes and he says, is everything okay? And they said, oh, it's just, according to our measurements, you're dead. He was just like, don't tell me that.
I'm not.
It's